Hi everyone, my name is Dee Roussel, also known as Stasia, and today I have been tagged to do the Spring Has Sprung tag. So first, I want to thank Courtney from Tangible Reads for tagging me in this. I definitely thought that this one had some very interesting questions, and the irony is not lost on me that I'm filming this wearing a long sleeve because it is freaking 50 degrees outside and it's freezing, but that is Midwest weather for you. The Spring Has Sprung tag has 10 different prompts, and of course I'll leave like who started it on the screen because I forgot to look up who did that, and I'll leave the link to their channel and stuff down below. But let's get started with this tag. The first prompt is flowers. Pick a book that's a fresh take on a retelling. And the one that I'm going to choose for this one is Lore Olympus. I read the first graphic novel last year, I want to say, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not really into Greek mythology stories, but for some reason this one just really like spoke to me, and I feel like I really just like connected with it. I still want to finish the other 2 volumes that are out already, but since this is my year of only reading Black authors, that's gonna have to halt for now. But that was one that I just really enjoyed the art, and I really just enjoyed the story and like where it was going. And I think because it's a little different in that like it's a contemporary kind of like retelling, so like it takes all the Greek myths and it makes them into like a more modern kind of living style. I thought that was very refreshing. And the next prompt is Cadbury mini eggs, and the prompt is to pick a book that's a sweet treat. And this book, I'm going to go with The Romantic Agenda. And this is one that I've talked about before on my channel. And I rated it 4.5 stars because I just really enjoyed it. I read it all in one day and it was just so cute. Like the relationship follows Joy and Fox. I'm pretty sure that's their names. I'm so bad with character names, but I'm pretty sure it's Joy and Fox. And it's basically just their love story, and like this, I just really like their dynamics. Like they're just so sweet towards one each other, and they have like respectful boundaries, which I definitely appreciated. And I definitely thought that was just such a very good book and such a sweet treat, I guess, for the prompt, because Joy is like the sunshine character and Fox is the grumpy, but like I just really like their dynamic. Next prompt for this tag is allergies. Pick a book that made you cry. And this one, I'm going to have to go with the one that most recently made me cry, and that is Daughters of Jubilation. That ending really got me, and this book is like so underrated, and I did not realize until Miss WOC Reader and Shay with the Hobbies like chose this book to do like a read along with, but it is just so good. I rated this book 4.5 stars, and I just thought it was just such a beautiful story, not necessarily written like lyrically like the stereotypical lyrical way, but like the character voice was super strong, and then like just the family dynamics between the mothers and their daughters, and then like just that generational like pattern that happens within her family, and then just her having to deal with like a past trauma that she didn't even remember, but then also just like the historical context that it is, but then also just like the beauty of just being like a Black person and just like the Black community in that book was just so good. And then the ending, like that made me cry. Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but I was just, gosh, like I was getting my hair done and I was crying, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like it was just so sad, but like, oh my gosh, yeah, definitely you will have to pick up that book because it is definitely an underrated read. And I'm going to have to look into more of Veena's like recommendations because that was just such a great book. And the next prompt is spring cleaning. Pick a book to unhaul. And the very first vlog of this year, I tried to read The Fall of Souls, and I'm just gonna have to unhaul this. I tried to read this book 2 times. The first time, I think I made it to not quite 100 pages, and I was just like, let me just put this down for now because I know I'm not going to enjoy it right now, like at least not with the headspace that I'm in. And then I tried to pick it up again, and I read like another 100 pages, and I just still was not into it, but for so many other reasons. The first few reasons, I feel like I wasn't really connecting with the character. I feel like she was just such an annoying character to follow because she was just so defiant, but for like no reason. And then the second time I tried to read this, like, she did get better, but I think it was just so slow burn. And then like, I don't think that the relationship was really built between the two characters that was slow burn, because they have like a soulmates tie or something, and it just wasn't really calling to me. So I'm going to have to unhaul this, which I'm super disappointed about because this was supposed to be a 5-star read. But yeah, I'm going to unhaul this. I'm hoping that the next book that I got from the author, Celestial Bodies or something, I'm hoping that that book is better. I just got that one on ebook though, since it was only $1, but I'm hoping I enjoy that one better than this one because it'll be different characters and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to unhaul this. So the next prompt is spring break. Pick a book that involves a road trip. I'm going to go with Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. And this is like one of my favorite books by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I've only read about 2 or 3 stories by her, but I think this one is like one of my favorites. And this one follows a girl who's like living with her family, and her grandfather has this like mysterious box, and when she opens it, it unleashes like this god, and they have to go on like a trip to go to like find his soul or something. Like, there's something that they have to do to basically like make him like more powerful again. And I just really like this story. There was like some parts of it that I was just like, okay. Mainly there was like one perspective that was like, it was just so random to me that I'm not sure like why it was added. But overall, I think that this story was like really, really good. This is like one of my favorite ones. And I think towards the end, the relationship between Cassiopeia and the god of death, I want to say, let me see, yeah, the Mayan death god, I thought it was just so beautiful. The Mexican folklore aspect of it, I just really enjoyed it, and I just thought it was just such a beautiful story, and I just really enjoyed being with these characters and being in this world, and just like the love story that was in it. So I definitely recommend reading this if you have not. Next, we have Mating Season. Pick a book with smutty delights. And I think I've said this multiple times on my channel, but I'm not really a romance reader that likes smutty delights. Like, I'm not really going into romance books for that. But one that I have read recently is Set by Alexandria House, and this one was definitely smutty. I think that I went into details about like the sexual encounters that they were having. So I think that if you like that kind of thing, like, this one would be a great one. It's just a novella, and I listened to it on audiobook, and it's a book that has like these, I don't want to call them friends with benefits, but they have sort of like an arrangement where they just go to see each other and enjoy each other's bodies for like maybe a weekend or something. But then of course they like started getting more serious with each other. But the beginning, so it was just like a sexual relationship. But yeah, it was a fine book. Like, if you like smutty things, I think you'll like this. So yeah. And then the next prompt is Rainbows. Pick a book with LGBTQ representation. And for this one, I'm going to go with A Taste of Honey by Kaya Shante Wilson. And this one I read in class. I tried to read Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps by myself, but I just could not get into that one. But A Taste of Honey, which is I think a companion novel to that one, from what I remember, it has a male-male relationship. So I think I connected with like the story between these two characters and like their love story and maybe like the power dynamics in it. I don't remember a lot from it, so I'm definitely due for a reread of it, but I just remember really liking this one over Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps. Maybe I'll read that one this year because it's only a novella, so yeah. And then next we have Spring Awakening. Pick a book with dysfunctional characters. And for this one, I'm going to have to go with the Heavy is the Head duology. And the first one is Heavy is the Head, Love and War. And the next one is Heavy is the Head, Kingdom Come. These are the most dysfunctional people that I think I have ever read. I'm gonna go with them because of like the relationship is just so dysfunctional. So in the first one, you're following Calla Emery, and she needs money to basically keep her home, and her father's missing and stuff. And so she sets out to try to find a wealthy husband, and she ends up like connecting with like the prince, and they have like a relationship. And then the second one, you have Kala and Makai, the prince from the first book. They're in a relationship with each other, but now they're having relationship troubles. And I think in both of these, you have the dysfunction coming from like the power imbalance between them. And since she's not of noble birth, she's not looked upon favorably in the courts, and since Makai is the prince, or becoming like the king or whatever, of course he's going to have to like sometimes put the state of the country above like what she wants. So there's all of these like political things that are like impacting their relationship. I just think that it makes for their relationship just being so dysfunctional. And even by the end of the series, I don't think that they solved any other dysfunction, but I still just really enjoyed the books. So I don't know. They're probably not the most dysfunctional people separately, but like together, they probably should not be in a relationship. And then there's the prompt of in like a lion, out like a lamb. Pick a book series that did not get better as it progressed. And this one, I had like a few things because I don't really read series, and the ones that I do, like I'm not really into them. Like I feel like all the series that I read, like they just don't capture my interest that much. And so there's so many unfinished series that I have because I'm just not a series reader. But one trilogy that I have read that I just did not like the last two books were from the Love Sisters trilogy. And the first one is I Think I Might Love You, and then the next one I think is I Think I Might Need You, or I Think I Might Want You, or something like that. But basically the Love Sisters trilogy, I absolutely adored the first one. I thought it was hilarious, and I really enjoyed that one. And then the next one had like an accidental pregnancy trope, which I don't think I mind, but I think that I just wasn't really into like those two people because they really got together because of the baby, I feel like. Or maybe it wasn't that, but I don't know. I just wasn't really into their relationship. And then the last one, I thought it was better than the second one because it was like this painter and then this girl who was like, I just want to be single and like not settle down, and she's just this author and all of that. Like I thought it was fine, but I didn't get like that level of fun or anything from the first one, which I thought like the first one's meet cute was just so funny and hilarious. And I just think that the girl from the first one, she was just so funny, and like her life and her outlook was just like hilarious to read. And so that's the one I ended up buying like 3 copies of so I could send it to my sisters and stuff. But the other two, I don't know, I just was not into them. Like they were fine, but just not the best. And then the last prompt is Fun in the Sun, tag some friends. And this one I'm going to tag Library Without Borders. She's becoming like one of my favorite channels because I just really like the diversity of what she reads. So I'll definitely be interested in what she like decides to choose for these prompts. But that wraps up all the prompts for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a crown emoji for the heavy is the head duology. And I'd be very interested to know, what book have you read that has very dysfunctional characters? I feel like I want to read more of those because I do like the dynamics of dysfunctional characters, but it's hard for me to find like morally gray or dysfunctional characters in books that I think that I might enjoy. But again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!